Our scripture reading this morning is from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 15, verses 1 through 3 and 11 through 32. I'm reading from the Message translation. And as Janet shared, may we hear it with both our head and our heart. By this time, a lot of men and women of doubtful reputation were hanging around Jesus and listening intently. The Pharisees and religion scholars were not pleased, not at all pleased. They growled. He takes in sinners and eats meals with them, treating them like old friends. Their grumbling triggered this story. Jesus said, "There was once a man who had 2 sons. The younger said to his father, 'Father, I want right now what's coming to me.' So the father divided the property between them. And it wasn't long before the younger son packed his bags and left for a distant country. There, undisciplined and dissipated, he wasted everything he had. After he had gone through all his money, there was a bad famine all through that country, and he began to hurt. He signed on with a citizen there who assigned him to his fields to slop the pigs. He was so hungry, he could have eaten the corn cobs in the pig slop, but no one would give him any. That brought him to his senses. He came to himself and said, 'All those farmhands working for my father sit down to 3 meals a day, and here I am, starving to death. I'm going back to my father. I'll say to him, Father, I have sinned against God. I've sinned before you. I don't deserve to be called your son. Take me in as a hired hand.' He got right up and went home to his father. When he was still a long way off, his father saw him. His heart pounding, he ran out, embraced him, and kissed him. The son started his speech. 'Father, I have sinned against God. I've sinned before you. I don't deserve to be called your son ever again.' But the father wasn't listening. He was calling to the servants, 'Quick, bring a clean set of clothes and dress him. Put the family ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Then get a grain-fed heifer and roast it. We're going to feast. We're going to have a wonderful time. My son is here, given up for dead and now alive, given up for lost and now found.' And they began to have a wonderful time. But all this time, his older son was out in the field. When the day's work was done, he came in. As he approached the house, he heard the music and dancing. Calling over to one of the houseboys, he asked what was going on. He told him, 'Your brother came home. Your father has ordered a feast, barbecued beef, because he has him home safe and sound.' The older brother stalked off in an angry sulk and refused to join in. His father came out and tried to talk to him, but he would not listen. The son said, 'Look how many years I've stayed here serving you. never giving you one moment of grief. But have you ever thrown a party for me and my friends? Then this son of yours who has thrown away your money on whores shows up, and you go all out with a feast." His father said, "Son, you don't understand. You were with me all the time, and everything that is mine is yours. But this is a wonderful time, and we had to celebrate. This brother of yours was dead, and he's alive. He was lost, and he's found." May God bless this reading and our understanding.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh my. Well, I went from head to heart to head to heart again when I looked at this. I was thinking I was all set, I was calm, I thought we'd lift it, I knew what was going to happen, and then I was relaxed, and I thought, I'll know the picture in the end, it's okay. And then they took the middle one. That was not what I was thinking. And then my heart went, again. It's amazing how we jump from our head to our heart and back a lot. So I brought a ruler today. I don't carry a ruler with me every day. So the other thing I thought was my hand to my elbow. Not quite 12 inches. It's a little bit more, but it still works for this. So the lesson today in the scripture is the prodigal son. And lots of people, if you turn around and look at mom, or if you look at mom and dad, or you look at grandma and grandpa, or whomever is sitting with you, and you look at them, they'll go, yep, I know that scripture. And some of you may say, oh, I know that scripture too. So I want to look at it a little differently. Let me summarize it real fast. So we have one boy who says, I want everything. Can I have it please now? And I'm going to go away and I'm going to have fun. And the other boy's over here and he says, nope, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to do what I'm expected to do. This one goes off and has fun and loses all of his money and has to be a servant, and pigs were eating better than he was. That wasn't good. So we thought, you know what, I'm going to go home and I'll tell my dad I'll be his servant and I'll at least have more food to eat because he was starving. So he goes home and all of a sudden dad comes out. It's like, oh, my son. This one over here who stayed home, he's mad. It's like, how come? You're going to have a big party for him and I've been here the whole time and I never got a party. Head, heart. So I have to do this because this is how I do the Pledge of Allegiance. So if I do the Pledge of Allegiance like this, so I want you to think, if you take your hands on top of your head and then kind of cross over like this, do you see that your elbow is kind of close to your heart? So sometimes it's like, whoops, am I at my head or am I at my heart? And sometimes we need to be at our head, but sometimes we need to be at our heart. And it flips really fast sometimes, just right there. I was in my head and I'm thinking, okay, I can do this, calm, I'm going to see the whole picture. And then my heart went, what? I thought I was going to understand this better. So I want to talk about the one who stayed here. He seemed kind of jealous. He was mad. It's kind of like when a brother or sister has a birthday party and you know in your head, I'm supposed to celebrate them and their life and the gifts that they get. Yoo-hoo! Sometimes, though, it's like, I didn't get any gifts. It wasn't very fun for me. We're supposed to be, yahoo, yay! Because, the big picture is God gives us all so much more than we deserve. So much more. I think we've all learned that if we say something we shouldn't or do something that we shouldn't, we say, I'm sorry. That's a process. Sometimes maybe this size is having a hard time with that, but this size, we get it. We're supposed to say we're sorry. And that seems to be what the prodigal son did. He came and said, Dad, I'm so sorry. But sometimes we're mad because somebody said they were sorry and then everything's fine. This one had it all the time. He had God's grace always. So sometimes we have to go from our head to our heart and realize we are children of God and we have all of this, all of it, and the love of God. So when you're mad, cross over. Am I here or am I here? 12 inches sometimes. Take a ruler, measure it. How far is it? It's sometimes really, really, really far away. So think about, am I thinking with my head or am I thinking with my heart? We want to work with our heart when we talk about being children of God, that we are all children of God. So our prayer today is going to be just that. We're going to start out quietly, and I'm going to say, who are you? And you're going to say, I'm a child of God. And then I'm going to get louder, and then you're going to get louder. Okay? All right, here goes. Who are you?